Hey, happy Thursday. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about family therapy today. Um, I wanted to bring up the subject of cheating and infidelity in marriages. So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the reason that this happens. So, I think a common misconception is that people will cheat because the other person is prettier, thinner, has a bigger something or a smaller something, um, has more money, is, all these outer characteristics like body things and um, money and finances. And while those things do happen, those things are pretty rare. Um, Most of the time, the answer I get for the reason why someone has stepped down on their marriage, it's because of the way the other person made them feel. It might be someone who's less attractive. It might be someone that has less money. Oftentimes, I'll hear the partner that has been cheated on say, you know, that guy's not even good looking. Like he's a complete like bum. He doesn't have a good job, or I'll hear a woman say, this woman is not even pretty. She's this or she's that, and trying to compare themselves to the person that their partner cheated with. And the majority of the time, 9 times out of 10, it is not because the other person looked better, had more money, had a better car, cuter clothes. It's none of that. Um, it is because that person is doing something with your partner that is creating a feeling of value, um, and appreciation that they do not feel at home. Now, I want to be very, very clear. This is not a session to blame the non cheating partner for the partner's cheating. There is always an alternative to stepping outside of your marriage. There's always an alternative. Ultimately, it is your decision to step outside of your marriage. However, there are things that can create an environment where a partner feels so low, so disconnected, so unloved, so down. And it might not be anything to do with the way that their spouse is behaving. It might be just something within them personally. They have a really low self-worth. They have a really low self-esteem. And they run into someone at work, online, wherever it happens to be, and this person sees them. They pay attention to them. They are complimenting them. They are interested in whatever they are interested in. And all of a sudden, they start getting these brain chemicals, these pleasurable chemicals start going in the brain. And they're like, whoa, I feel really good when I'm around this person. Like, I mean, every time we see each other, it is happy. We're talking about fun stuff. They're telling me how amazing I am. And maybe they're not getting that at home. And again, I want to make it real clear. We are not blaming the other partner. But what I'm saying is that sometimes when people cheat and I hear their backstory, I wonder if it could have been prevented. by some really good reconnecting in the marriage, by some really good communication where each person is feeling seen, heard, validated, appreciated, loved. We can get really complacent in marriage thinking, oh, this person's here and that's all I need. I just need them to be here. I mean, as long as I'm just, as long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and I'm not cheating, I'm okay. But we forget that having a happy marriage doesn't just mean not cheating. It means paying attention to each other's needs. It means lifting each other up. That's our job. Of course we're going to have disagreements. Of course we're going to fight and argue. We're not going to see eye to eye. We're going to have times where we're not connected. But that's what has to be intentional in your relationships. You have to be intentional about being each other's support system, about being each other's cheerleader, because humans need that. We need it. And sometimes people don't get it, they'll find it. Again, cheating is always the fault of the cheater. But an explanation isn't the same as an excuse. Now, of course, there are people out there that just cheat because they don't have any empathy or any feelings for anybody but themselves. And it's, a game and all that. But that's really not the majority. That's really not the majority. The majority are people that are down on themselves for whatever reason. They're not feeling good. They're feeling criticized. They're feeling condemned. They're feeling disconnected. And they're vulnerable. And it doesn't take but one person to come along and show deep interest in them, tell them they're not even telling them they're appreciated, but just behaving as though their presence is important. So, affair-proof your marriage. That doesn't mean that we have to, tiptoe around our partners so they won't cheat on us. And it's I want to be very, very clear. So there's no excuses. I am not saying it's the other person's fault for cheating. I am saying that I have talked repeatedly to people who have stepped outside their marriages, and this is the most common answer. Is the person that I gravitated to and the person that I got involved with made me feel for the first time in a long time that I was important, that I was somebody. So just think about that.